is this guy?
Who's that guy?
I was like, does he work here?
Standing up and yelling, and I'm like, already you're an immigrant, you look different, and now you're doing all of this.
All the Canadian fans are taking pictures with him and all this stuff, and you scratch your head even some more thinking about what's this specialness that he has.
And you know what, that's it. I want to know that guy.
He's got that it factor that draws people to him.
All the fans, media people, everything's turned to him.
He almost became this myth. And then you figure out that that guy is just like us. He has the same stories like us.
The things he's done are so real. They're so tangible for so many people.
It's almost been a parallel path of the team that went on to become NBA champions. And this great success story that is Nav Bhatia.
There's fans, and then there's a super fan.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your guest speaker, Nav Bhatia.
Nobody has won it yet, but I brought it here for you to see it firsthand. So this is going to be the new jersey the world is going to see tomorrow for the Raptors, and you are the first one to have a look at it. Yes, let's go Raptors. I was at the game last night, got up 6 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, and I'm here with you. I'm excited to be here, and I have a game tomorrow with Boston Celtics, so I'm going to be there tomorrow. So guys, I can only spend some time with you. I hope you enjoy. I'm so grateful that you have brought me down here to be among you. So thank you. Most of you know me as the Raptors Superfan. Some of you might know me also as a car dealer. I am a new car dealer. I own 5 car dealerships and with 350 employees now. But I'm basically known as the Raptors Superfan. And you know, I have never missed a game in 30 years. Never been late for a game. Never left the game early. Now I'm not going to brag about my marriage here because I have missed my wife's anniversaries, her birthdays. So I'm not going to brag about that, but I'm going to brag about that I have never missed a game and never been late and never left the game early. Also, you know, my motto is, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't womanize, I only raptorize. A lot of you people have seen me with Shaq, with Corey, with Kobe Bryant, with Vince Carter, with LeBron, with Giannis, and all those guys. And I'm sure you think that this guy is enjoying himself and having a good time. You know what? I am. I am. I'm blessed. But let me also tell you, it was not always like that. You know, today you have asked me to come to find out how did I become successful. So I'm going to share my story with you. I have a draft. I can read it, Or if you want, I can speak it from my heart. What do you want me to do? Well, if I make a mistake or I stumble, make sure don't throw me under the bus. Okay? So let's try that. I'm going to speak it from my heart. And like I said, if I make a mistake, forgive me. My story started in 1984 when the Sikhs were going through the toughest time in their history. It was 1984 in New Delhi when there was no safe place for the Sikhs at their home or in their temples. We were being hunted and massacred. It was a genocide. That's the time when we as a family, when our factory was destroyed, we decided as a family to move to Canada. And luckily, Canada accepted us. So me and my wife were the first one to arrive in Canada. And like any other Sikhs, I landed up in Malton. You know where Malton is in? Yeah. You know, a lot of time these guys ask me, how come you guys end up in Malton? All you Sikhs, you end up in Malton. Guys, I'm going to share that with you. When you come with $25 to $50, when you have to spend $25 on a ride, when you get up at the Pearson Airport, Malton is the only place you can go. You cannot go any further. So that's where I ended up. I rented a basement for $350 on Victory Crescent, 3324 Victory Crescent, in front of the Malton Gurdwara. I was the happiest man because I was in a safe country. The very first weekend, I went for shopping. I had another $25, $30 left, so what I did is, basement was not furnished, so I had to buy something. So I bought some utensils on a garage sale. And I bought a small child bed. And you know, when you are doing a garage sale in Malton, it's not that you're buying a second hand. You're buying the 6th hand, 7th hand, 8th hand stuff. And that's what I did. But I was still the happiest guy. This bed was so small, let me share a story with you. Me and my wife went to bed together on that bed, but every morning somebody was on the floor, and 99% it was my wife on the floor because I'm a fat guy. I was the happiest guy, though I was in the safest country. But finding a job was another story. Nobody wanted to hire a Sikh guy with a turban and beard as an engineer. And I did what we have to do. I did odd jobs. I was a janitor. I was cleaning the toilets and cutting the grass. Because we Sikhs don't beg. We don't believe in this. We believe in this. Right, Sikhs? And that's what I did. I had promised my mother when I was 16 years old. She made me 3 promises. She got 3 promises from me. And 16 years old, you are a young guy. And my mom was very tough and disciplinary. She called me one day when I was 16 and she said, "You're not cutting your hair?" I said, "Yes, Ma." "You're not smoking?" "Yes, Ma." "And you're not drinking?" "Yes, Ma." It's not easy for a young guy. But I'm going to share with you, I'm 73 years old today, and I still not have a smoke or a drink. And I kept my hair. My mother wanted me to keep my hair, so I kept what I promised my mother. And I think that's the reason that her blessings are with me. That I rose from nowhere to where I am today. So thanks, my mom. I like that. Thank you. Anyway, one day I got a call from a car dealership. I must have gone to 300 interviews, but nobody wanted me. Nobody wanted me as an engineer. I was still paying my bills by doing the odd jobs, so I was okay. But one day I had given an interview as a car salesman. There was Rexdale Hyundai. And they called me on a Saturday, like 7 in the morning, 7:30 in the morning. And they said, if you want the job as a car salesman, you have to be here within an hour. Guys, that was the fastest getting ready and tying the turban on that day. And I was there at 8:30. Yeah, I was there on time. And as I arrived there, something else happens. There were 9 Caucasian salespeople. Everybody started making fun of me, calling me tacky, calling me with a carpet head, calling me with a diaper head. Guys, that was the lowest time in my life in Canada. But on that day, I motivated myself. I prayed to the Almighty. I said, give me the strength. I decided, if I have to survive in this society, I have to be better than good. And that's what I did. You know what I did? I sold 127 cars in 3 months, which was a record then, and it still is a record today. Don't let anybody put you down that you can do this or that. You can do it. And right after that, everybody started noticing me. Let me share another story. When I was a salesman. You know, as a salesman, you take your turns. When you come early, you get the earlier turn. So it was my turn. And this guy comes, Caucasian guy. He wanted to buy a car. I was dressed up properly, nicely, everything. This guy comes to me and says, I want to see your manager. I knew something was not right there. I brought the manager. I went to the manager and I said, this customer wants to see you. They had a discussion. And the customer told my manager he doesn't want to buy from me. He wants to buy from a normal salesman, as if I was not normal. Anyway, I didn't get upset. I told my manager, I'm okay with it. You give it to the other guy. But I require one thing. I don't need any money out of it. No commissions or anything out of it. And you guys know the commissions. Eh? When I say commission, you guys know commission. Right? Yes or no? Yes. Yeah. So I said, I don't need any commission, but I need one thing. I want him to let me deliver the car to him on Friday. So on that day, the other salesman, Brian Kenny was his name. He made sure he wasn't there. So the car was ready and I, went out, bought some English cookies, bought a bow. I spent about $9-10. That was a lot of money in 84, 85. So I did that. A customer comes. I knew he had to pick up the car because it was his 16th birthday for his daughter. And I treated him. I didn't let him feel that I'm any upset or anything like that. I delivered the car. And you know what? This guy sent me a lot of customers afterward. Yes. This is how you treat a customer. When they go low, you go high. You don't argue and start picking a fight or anything like that. You go high. And that's what I did. And soon after that, I was training the salespeople, became the manager, and very soon after that, Hyundai had office in 87, asked me to take over another dealership which was ailing and failing very quickly. It was a Mississauga Hyundai. Well, I went there as a general manager. And you know, we all have little ego, and I was young at the time also. I thought everybody knows that I'm the best manager in the country. You know, I had a little chip on the shoulder. We're human beings. But you know what? Another thing happened. There were 8 out of the 9 salespeople resigned on me. They didn't want to work for a general manager who has a turban and beard. So it was a mess in the dealership, but I took control with God's grace. I brought the team, which was okay with the seats. And very soon, we became the number 1 in Canada. Mississauga Hyundai became the number 1 in Canada. So guys, after that, I bought a property in Mississauga, nice, 2,800 square feet home, 2 garage and everything. I was on the top of the world. Had a good job, had 2 company cars also. And then the Raptors arrived in 95. And I decided to buy 2 tickets because I could only afford 2. I have 13 now. But I had 2 tickets I bought, and you know what? I said, I'm going to try for a season and see basketball, watch basketball. And guess what, guys? On the very first day, I fell in love with basketball. I think it was quicker to fall in love with the basketball than my wife. I can say that here because my wife is not here, and nobody's going to snitch on me. Because I'm speaking from the heart. Yeah. What do you say? Yeah. Yes. So anyway, I went to the games. I enjoyed the game. I cheered a lot. And one day, the general manager and the vice president, Isaiah Thomas, now a Hall of Famer, called me on the mid-court and gave me a jersey, Superfan 1. And I became the face of the Raptors. This Packy became the face of the Raptors. I was doing the TV interviews, I was doing the radio interviews, and I was once again feeling good. But I think God has a way to bring you down. So always have Lord in your heart. Always. One day, I went to fix my phone to the Bell Mobility. And as I entered, I saw this guy, a Caucasian guy, on the phone, on the landline. You remember when there was a landline, people had a courtesy landline? So the guy sees me, and he's talking on the phone. He says, honey, I got to go, my cab is here. Guys, I was wearing a Versace suit at the time. Versace tie, Versace shoes and everything. I don't know what this guy was thinking about. I believe in my brothers who drive the cabs. We the Sikhs believe in the dignity of labor. No job is lower or anything, as long as you're working hard and honest. That's what I was doing. But I didn't take a fight with him. I was very... Remember I said that when people go high, you go? When people go low, you go high. So what I did, I talked to him and said, sir, no, I'm also a I'm here to fix my phone. So I fixed my phone. But on that day, there was a mark left in my head that we, the Sikhs, haven't done enough to integrate in the mainstream. So I went to the Raptors and bought 3,000 tickets for the Baisakhi. And the Raptors were saying, are you crazy? How are you going to fill these seats? I said, don't worry, I'm paying you right now. It's my headache. And that's when it started, the Baisakhi Day game started. And now for 24 years, every year we bring thousands of kids to the game. We bring the Sikh kids, we bring the black kids, we bring the Muslim kids, we bring the Hindu kids, we bring the kids from the churches. You know why I do that? Because I want the kids to be integrated at a young stage, at a young age, so that they don't go through what I went through. And we are doing that. So the Baisakhi was started at that time, the cultural night was started at that time. In 98, 99 was the first time, and we are still doing it. So guys, it's very important. Doesn't matter if your next door neighbor is a black, Jamaican, or is a Chinese, make sure, go out, share, talk to them, share your food. That's how we become one. Because, yes, you can. One thing you have to understand, we are all the same inside. 99.99999%, we are all the same inside. So make sure that we do that. Right after that, you know, Raptors have been a big part of my life. Big part, right? To have the Raptors Players Championship. First time in the history of any sports, someone was given a Players Championship ring. Also, first time in the history of any sports, they installed me in the Hall of Fame. So, guys, what I'm trying to tell you is, if I would have argued or picked a fight or tried to correct the other person, would I be standing in front of you? No. So guys, make sure we are blessed to be in the best country in the world. Canada. Give a big hand for Canada. Make sure there is a strength in diversity. Use that. And I see, this is beautiful to see that you're doing it all together. So guys, what is the secret of me being successful? There's no rocket science. You work hard, you work honest, and you treat people like you want to be treated yourself. Thank you. You are the organizer of it. What have you to do now? I just go now? Okay, I thought there was going to be a Q&A or something. Anybody, make sure, whenever you need to do, you let me know. Thank you very much again. Thank you.